Welcome back, guys. We're gonna do some more art today. You know what? I feel like making another artist trading card. I know it's only been one video since I didn't, but I have fun doing them, and I have 20 cards, and I'm probably gonna get more soon, but I just want to make a bunch. So expect this to be a very long series, and I just slapped my lap very hard, but expect this to be a very long series because I really enjoy making them. I have way too many little characters to fill them with, and I have way too many cards, and they're pretty cheap, so I can always buy more if I run out, which is not good, but that's probably what I'll do. So yeah, let's make another artist trading card.
So just like with Reagan, I start this one off by just sketching my character Vannessa. I didn't originally plan on drawing her for this artist training card, but in the end I do, because once I started drawing her, I just couldn't stop, and as much as I wanted to try other characters, I just was also really hooked on drawing her. She is one of my favorite ones, and one of the ones I draw more often, because I don't know why, I just really like her and her design. So I do end up drawing her for the final card, as you may or may not know already by the thumbnail, but yeah, the reason that I spent so much time drawing her and drawing her over and over and over again in a bunch of different ways is because she kind of has like two different sides to her, one of which is like kind of like her roller derby side, which you can see is the second one I'm drawing right now. And then her first side is just kind of her normal, like, everyday civilian side, I guess. Not really like her personality changes, just her clothes do. So I figured I might as well make a second card for her. I'm not sure, though, yet. We'll see. But yeah, I love Vannessa. I don't know why. She's just this really angry, like, bitter, mean girl. And I just really like drawing people that have gotten into fights. I don't know, I feel like bruises and scraps and little band-aids are really fun to draw, so she's my like kind of go-to character for that because she's pretty scrappy. Which, surprisingly enough, actually made her a really difficult character to draw because most of her character traits are emotional rather than physical, so it made it kind of rough to draw her, but we get there eventually. So as you can see right here, I'm actually adding in a cast because I'm playing around with how to make her look scrappier, like she gets in fights a lot. I tried doing a black eye in a couple and an ice pack or a slab of meat, but then I was like, oh, why don't I try using a cast, because cast means broken bones, so maybe she punched someone and then broke her wrist, because she's kind of dumb and she doesn't know how to punch right. It's perfect. I didn't actually end up using it in the final one. I kind of wish I did because I think it looks cute, but maybe in the other one I can. Who knows, if I do another one of her, which I probably will. No guarantee, but probably. And right here I'm just finishing off the last little sketch of the page, and then I'm going on to a new one because I got a great idea because Vannessa is actually, like, half her character trait is that she's super poor. So, I decided that maybe it'd be funny if I showed her, like, pulling out her, like, pants pocket, and there was a fly coming out, like how they do in cartoons when they open the wallet and a moth comes out, like that sort of thing. And I think I go for this in the final, too. Sorry, spoilers, but, I do draw her having pretty much this exact pose, just I don't include her, shoes in it, because I instead actually include a little design on her hoodie that says Derby. I don't know exactly why. I didn't think too long about it. I was just kind of like, yeah, this works.
Alright guys, so I think what I've settled on for her is I'm gonna do something along these lines. It's a little stiff, but I kind of like it a lot. I don't know, it's hard to tell because she's this one character I draw like a lot, so I kind of like a lot of the things that basically every time I draw her I pretty much love it, so it's hard to tell if this is actually good or if I just love it because I just love it. So yeah, let's try and finalize this a little bit more before we start on the card.
So just like I said, I start finalizing the sketch by outlining the actual card onto the paper, so I have the actual size of it down. And then I just go in and start making a bigger version of the tiny little idea I had on the last page. So I sketch her out, and then after that I was kind of focused on how to make the background and the outline of her. I don't remember like that's called, if it even has a name, but I'm trying to make that more interesting, and I come up with the idea to make it more like a mugshot, because I thought that would be cute for her, because she's kind of like a little criminal scumbag type character, so I thought it'd be kind of funny to have her up against like one of those mugshot walls. I didn't think about that earlier, which sucks, because then it could have been funny to make her holding one of those mugshot signs, but I still think it looked cute, so here I am just going in on the actual card with that sketch. As you can see, I cut ahead quite a bit on that face, but I was having too much of a difficulty actually trying to draw it on and make it look good, so I had to record off camera, or I guess not record off camera, but draw off camera all the little details. I got super close to it, so you wouldn't have missed much anyway. It would have just been my big head in the screen. But I also kind of do that. You can see my little head peeping in because I'm using a really thin pen to outline it. And it's hard to get all those details when I'm so far away, because I'm usually really close to my drawings when I use such a small pen. I actually go in at the end, you don't see me do it, but I actually go in with a bigger pen, so the end photo, like at the very, very end of the whole video, it is much thicker than you'll see at the end of me drawing the card. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say, but you get it. A little disclaimer, I didn't look up mugshot, the wall thingies, before I actually drew it, so the numbers on the side are going to be off, so please do not roast me for it. It was an accident. I'll look into it next time. So I end up zooming in for the camera, but that causes it to shake a little bit, so I'm sorry about the shaking at the beginning. But Vannessa does not have green hair. She has brown hair that she's dyed green, so I always do green first. You can't always see it, but mostly just the front of her hair you can see is green, because I had the idea that maybe she just bleached the front couple streaks and then dyed her whole head green, and that's why it has kind of a green tint, but only the front you can tell is green. So that's what that is, if you were wondering. Also, as you can see here, well, not exactly here, but when I was coloring the skin, I was trying to do a thing for one of the subscribers who commented on my last video about drawing with lower quality pens on printer paper, and to see if Copics worked the same, but they wanted me to try drawing the shading before I did the regular, like, flat color. So I tried doing that on the skin, and I honestly didn't see much of a difference, except that it kind of was less prominent, the shading was, so I ended up going over it again. I'm sorry I didn't do too well on it. I kept forgetting how to do it for some reason, but I usually have to go over with shading a couple times, so I think that was half the problem, is that I had to wait so long, which made me a little impatient, so I didn't do such a good job. But I hope that you enjoyed anyway. I hope that answered your question a little bit more. No, with Copics I think it's not as obvious unless you use a much darker color, but maybe I'll try that in the next video. Also, as you can see, I started doing a light green on the border. I thought that would be cute because her hair is sort of green, and I kind of wanted to bring a little bit of that color back in. I was initially going to do the same dark color that I was going to do for her hair, but I realized it would make the top of the drawing a lot darker than the bottom. That's also half the reason I decided to make half her name in black. But yeah, I thought the light green would be a lot more friendly and fun to look at, so I ended up just doing that instead of a dark green. But yeah, I kind of wish that I made the pants dark in the beginning, so I go in right here and make them darker, and then I add little stripes to her name as well, like to imitate the mugshot wall type stripes, and then I go in with the white and do little stripes on there too.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below which one of the 3 is your favorite so far. Let me know if you have any suggestions for my next video or anything you guys want to see me do. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.